from San Francisco, California, this is the Rock and Roll Geek Show. This is the story of my rock and roll butler.
Welcome to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. My name is Michael Butler. Thanks a lot for joining me. I really appreciate it. Today is Wednesday, August 23rd, 2023, and it's 6:37 p.m. when I'm recording this episode. This is day 23 of the Dog Days of Podcasting. I'm attempting to do a show a day for the entire month of August, along with several other podcast nerds like myself. I've been working my off. I hope to finish tomorrow, and I'm going to head up to the mountains on Friday. Deer season, I believe, begins on Saturday, so I'm going to be doing some notes from the tree stand probably, and hopefully notes from the walk-in cooler while I'm butchering a deer. Oh, that would be so nice. Or not, maybe not butchering, but at least skinning and gutting a deer. That would be so nice. Update on the Manitoba drummer thing. Thank you so much to everybody who's already given me a bunch of suggestions and for going out there and looking. I'm overwhelmed with, or not overwhelmed, but I'm overjoyed with the amount of response I've gotten. So please keep the suggestions coming. We may have somebody who's really good, but it's not a definite yet. So please keep those suggestions coming. You know who you are for suggesting, and I appreciate all the suggestions, and please keep them coming, friends. I have another show review to play. I don't know who this is. I think this is a new listener. The email came from Johnny Mohawk. Hey, Butler, here's a show review from the past in case you still need content for the dog days. Johnny Mohawk. All right, let's see. Does he call himself that on the show review? I don't know because I have not listened to this.
Hey, Michael Butler. What's up? John Nashed here.
Oh, John Nashed. Oh, John Nashed is a local guy. He comes to Butler shows, and he came to the Manitoba show. Was he at the Manitoba show? I'm not sure if he was there, but he came to the AC/DC show.
From the San Jose chapter
yes.
of the Rock and Roll Geek Show.
Hey, John.
Long time, first time.
By the way, he does not have a mohawk. He's got long hair like me.
First off, how you doing today?
I'm super great. Couldn't be better. I'm on my, which one is this? Is the second Tecate of the day. I'm about to finish it and get ready to open my third one. Let me take a sip of this fine Tecate. Oh, that's so good. The best one of the day.
Good to hear.
Yes.
Before we get into this,
another sip.
let me take a sip
I'm going to join you. Finish this one off.
This fine Michelob Ultra.
Oh, boy, that's good stuff.
I'm diabetic now, so that is currently my my beer of choice.
Is Michelob Ultra good for diabetics? I did not know that.
So I raise one to you.
Just finished that one. I'm going to crack open the third one.
Okay, so I wanted to call in with a show review because I know you're looking to fill time during the Dog Days podcast. So if you still need some content, hopefully you can use this.
Well, I'm using it.
Rather than do a new show review, I've actually been to a lot of shows recently. I caught Rod Stewart and Cheap Trick at the Shoreline, but you already had a show review on that. A couple days after that, I saw ZZ Top
and
Leonard Skinner at the Shoreline as well.
I heard that was really good.
The week before that, I saw YNT in Monterey.
Okay.
I think I ran into friend of the Rock and Roll Geek Show, Ralph Miller.
Oh yeah.
At that particular show.
I'm going to see the Cult with Ralph Miller. He invited me to go, so I'm looking forward to that.
And I ran into a friend of the Rock and Roll Geek Show, Christopher Del Grande.
At Rod Stewart.
At a show at the Santa Clara County Fair. We were actually catching an AC/DC and Kiss cover bands that night. And actually, I take it back. The Ralph Miller YNT show wasn't the Monterey one. It was one a couple months previously. But the long and short of it is going to concerts here in the Bay Area, you run into the Bay Area contingent of the Rock and Roll Geek Show, and I attended a couple of those.
Isn't that fucking great, man?
Those I mentioned with.
I just can't believe. I can't believe it. Oh, thank you, God, and thank you everybody who's a friend of the Rock and Roll Geek Show. I just love this community.
Fellow Rock and Roll Geek Facebook member Rachel Rosenberg as well.
Huh?
So
I didn't know we had a girl in the group.
We're all the Rock and Roll Geeks are making themselves known and seen in the Bay Area live scene.
Yes.
And in fact, just last night I caught your AC/DC band with Zetro,
yes.
AC/DZ.
How was that?
At Vinny's, and spoke to you a little bit before the show as well. You filled me in on some of the goings on with the Manitoba tour, and hopefully you guys are going to be taking that on the East Coast and everything. So best of luck with that. That sounds awesome.
Thank you.
But anyways, at
this point, there's no New York City shows. Can you believe that? But hey, I didn't book them. They're mostly up in the New England area. So if you're up in the New England area, let me know. Hopefully this thing's going to happen. Hopefully we'll find a drummer. And I will, if you're a friend of the Rock and Roll Geek Show, I will do everything in my power to get you into that show, which shouldn't not be too much of a problem because I don't know anybody up in that area.
Regaling you with the escapades of these current shows, I'm going to do something that you had a lot of listeners doing during the lockdown.
Oh yeah,
and that is relive some older shows.
I love this.
A lot of people are calling in reliving shows from their youth, from the 70s and 80s and 90s and so on. But the show that I'm going to relive is actually from the year 2013.
2013. Now, the Butlers were supposed to open for... Oh, I'm going to let him talk first.
And it was here in the Bay Area. And it was Nazareth.
See, the Butlers were supposed to open for Nazareth around that time, and they canceled because of Dan McCafferty's heart problems. So I'm not sure which show he went to.
The headliner. And I was very excited because I had never seen Nazareth live before. And also on the bill for that Nazareth show was an all-girl Kiss cover band called Kisser.
Huh.
And a band that I had yet to see
the Butlers, right?
at this point called the Butlers.
Yeah, Nazareth canceled. Yes, Nazareth canceled, and I was so bummed out. I bought a Nazareth tour shirt from a Mexican guy in the parking lot. There were nothing... If you call somebody Mexican, that's not racist, right? There were some Mexican guys in the parking lot selling bootleg Nazareth shirts. I had to buy one. They were quality shirts. I wore that thing proudly.
Who my buddy was trying to get me to see, and I'd never seen the Butlers live yet. So, long story short, you know the punchline to this story is that, Nazareth ended up canceling because Dan McCafferty took ill.
Man, we were so bummed
obviously
out.
Retired from touring altogether shortly thereafter, and that was kind of the end of his stay in Nazareth. But the show was still going to go on. I think we already had tickets, and then they refunded the tickets, but we're still gonna do the show with.
Yeah, it turned out to be a pretty good crowd, if I remember right.
Just the Butlers and Kisser, and my buddy was like, my buddy Troy had seen the Butlers. I want to say in San Francisco a time or two, and he kept telling me I needed to check them out. So I'm like, okay, we'll go ahead and go to this show anyways, even though Nazareth canceled. So even though we were disappointed the headliner wasn't there, we still decided to go and check it out. So we get to the Club Rodeo, which is a small little club in San Jose. For just a short time, they tried to do live shows there. It did not last long. I want to say...
I believe we opened for Doc in there as well.
It was when the Avalon closed down, which was a small-sized club, and before the Rock Bar opened. And the Rock Bar, of course, Butlers played there plenty of times, but I've seen bands like... Saxon, Blue Oyster Cult, Michael Schenker, bands of that ilk would come to the Rock Bar. And so this Club Rodeo was kind of the interim between those two clubs. And I think I saw Faster Pussycat there and Michael Schenker Group and a couple others, but only a few times did I attend gigs at that venue before I think they completely stopped doing rock gigs. But anyways, we get there, and the first band to take the stage is Kisser. Again, an all-girl Kiss cover band, all hot chicks on stage doing classic 70s Kiss tunes. How can you go wrong?
Exactly.
They weren't perfect, but neither are Kiss. So it was very entertaining and a fun show to watch, and I dug it. And then up next was the Butlers, who, again, I had never seen before and knew nothing about other than my buddy told me that I should check them out and I'd probably enjoy it. So the Butlers come on stage and open up with Nazareth, Hair of the Dog.
That's right. Yep.
And so I'm already excited because we were there to see Nazareth anyways.
Yeah, we said, hey, Nazareth ain't showing up. Let's pull Nazareth out. I miss playing that tune. It's so much fun.
Hey, Michael Butler.
Oh, what happened? What happened? Come on, man.
The set came Queen.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
Again, an all-girl Kiss cover band,
Sorry,
all
I
hot
fucked
chicks
up.
on stage
Producing.
doing classic 70s Kiss tunes. How can you go wrong? They weren't perfect, but
Sorry, I rewound
neither
it
are
too
Kiss.
far.
So it was very entertaining and a fun show to watch, and I dug it. And then up next was the Butlers, who, again, I had never seen before and knew nothing about other than my buddy told me that I should check them out and I'd probably enjoy it. So the Butlers come on stage and open up with Nazareth, Hair of the Dog.
You're messing with
And
her.
so I'm already excited because we were there to see Nazareth anyways, and I can't recall ever seeing a cover band play a Nazareth tune anyways. So that was kind of cool, open up with Hair of the Dog. But then as they went on with their set, I started to realize not only is this band playing like a ton of my favorite acts, they're playing songs from my favorite bands, but for the most part, they were playing deep cuts, not the obvious ones.
That's right.
So just a few songs into the set came Queen, but no, not We Are the
Tie Your Mom,
Champions,
right?
or not
Tie Your Mom Down?
Another One Bites the Dust, not an obvious one. The Butlers went for Tie Your Mother Down, which is a great, I don't know if that's a deep track, but it's
Not
barely
really.
even a radio-friendly song, so that was a great one. Then they went into UFO,
Yeah.
and you don't hear
Shoot
cover
Shoot?
bands play UFO
Probably
that
Shoot
often
Shoot.
to begin with, but no, it wasn't Lights Out or it wasn't Too Hot to Handle. They went for Shoot Shoot, which is actually one of my favorites, but again, deep cut. I can't remember all the songs that night. For whatever reason, Setlist FM doesn't feature Butler
what
shows
the hell's
on
going
there.
on? It's a
Must be
conspiracy.
some kind of contractual
Exactly,
thing,
yeah.
a lot of red tapes
Uh-huh,
and
yeah,
politics
yeah, yeah.
involved, whatever that is.
They hate us.
But other songs I remember from that night, at least a couple Cheap Trick songs.
Yep.
I want to say possibly Come On, Come On was played that
Probably.
night. California Man.
Yes.
Def Leppard, Let It Go.
Uh-huh.
One of my favorite tracks from definitely my favorite Def Leppard
cool
album.
woman, cool time.
High and Dry. Let's see, what else? Oh, I remember really loving it when you went for the Sweet Fox on the Run,
followed by
because
Baba.
it was, you got a 70s cover band playing hard rock tunes, and then they went for this pop tune, Fox on the
Got to play something for the ladies.
Run. But the best part about it was I turn around while I'm watching, and there's a female Ace Frehley right behind me, just rocking out and digging it too.
that's
so
cool.
that made it
Still in her
all that
makeup.
much more enjoyable. There was a couple. I want to say there's a couple deep Aerosmith tracks as well.
Yeah, we probably played back then we probably played Seasons of Wither, maybe Walking the Dog.
At least a couple Thin Lizzy tunes,
Probably
and
Bad Reputation, Don't Believe a Word.
closing with the Cowboy song,
Yes.
which is, I think, kind of a
Standard closer.
a classic
for us.
closer for the Butlers.
We always
From all the
close with
times
that.
I've seen you guys, I think you normally always close with that tune. But again, not a song that you hear cover bands play at all. So for the most part, I would say 75 to 80% of the set was deep tracks from some of my favorite bands. I really enjoyed the set.
I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Butlers are the world's greatest cover band. If you like 70s hard rock, I'm not just tooting my own horn. I'm tooting Craig's horn and Graham's horn and Michael Butler number 2's horn and Joel Butler's horn. and Andy Butler's horn.
And afterwards, my buddy and I were kind of hanging out, and I took a couple pictures with the ladies from Kisser as well, because why wouldn't you?
Exactly.
And and then some of the Butlers came over and were kind of hanging out and talking with us. Especially, I want to say it was Billy Rowe, who I spoke to a little bit, and I don't think I've spoken to Billy Rowe once since then. As many of the shows that I've been to over the years, I know he's no longer playing with you guys very much, but then Craig came over, and Craig is a super friendly guy. I want to say I was wearing a Thin Lizzy shirt that night, and he was talking to me about, I believe he actually attended the Day on the Green in 19...
He knows more about Thin Lizzy than anybody I've ever met.
Green in 1979 with, which featured, it was Journey, Jay Giles Band, Thin Lizzy, UFO, and Nazareth. What a fucking lineup that was.
Wow.
So I think Craig was at that show. I think that's what he was talking about that night. But absent from all of my conversations was any interaction with the Butlers' aloof bass player.
Yeah, I'm super, as you know, John, I am super introverted. That's one thing. I might have been there with my wife. I don't remember.
Who at the time I just assumed, was
an asshole.
Like I said, kind of aloof, maybe kind of arrogant,
stuck up,
maybe a jackass. I was
stuck up, rock star. Thinks he's a rock star, too cool to talk to anybody.
Hard to get a read, but I've learned over the years from your own acknowledgement that you're just a little bit of an introvert.
Exactly.
So over time, we've had some conversations, and I'd like to say,
if I don't have a microphone in front of me, I am super shy, dude, and extremely boring. Just ask Ralph Miller and Todd Cunningham.
That I'm a friend of the Rock and Roll Geek Show, and hopefully a friend of yours as well.
You are,
Mr.
John
Butler.
Nashed.
And I've caught you playing with the Butlers, with Featherwitch, with AC/DC, as I just mentioned, and unfortunately missed out on the Manitoba shows, as I was at those two Shoreline shows, the Cheap Trick and ZZ Top shows.
Yeah, I
missed
can't
out
blame
on
you.
that. But
can't blame you.
anyways, hope to catch you live again real soon. And next time I do, I will bring you a Stick It to the Man donation.
There you go. Not necessary, but much appreciated.
Oh, and
John.
before I forget, I also wanted to
maybe I'll see you at the Rick Springfield show in September. I got tickets for that. I'm also going to the Darkness, first show of their U.S. tour, doing Permission to Land top to bottom. I got tickets to that as well at the Masonic. Not crazy about the Masonic, but hey, it's a bigger venue, so maybe they're moving up.
give a shout out to the sheriff, the guy who runs the Rock and Roll Geek Facebook group, Mr. Fusey.
Yes.
So let's drink one for the Fuse real quick.
I love how Richard has a new last name. I love you, Richard Fusey. Fusey, I love it. All right, let's take a sip. Let me back it up just a little bit. Okay, let's try that.
And
wait a minute, hold on, just a little bit more. Where am I here?
Okay. I was at those two Shoreline shows, the Cheap Trick and ZZ Top shows, and missed out on that. But
back a little too far.
Anyways, hope to catch you live again real soon. And next time I do, I will bring you a Stick It to the Man donation. Oh, and before I forget, I also wanted to give a shout out to the sheriff, the guy who runs the Rock and Roll Geek Facebook group, Mr. Fusey. So let's drink one for the Fuse.
Let's take a sip for Richard Fusey, the new sheriff in town. Take a sip of this fine Tecate to you, Richard Fusey.
All right, that's about all I got, Mr. Butler. If you need content and want to use this call in, feel free to do so. If not, no problem either way. Like I said, hope to catch you at a live show again soon. And until then, Stay frosty, my friend.
Stay frosty. You too can leave me a show review. Please do. Record it into your phone. Email it to me, rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. If I don't play your audio comment, it's because it got lost in my email. It's not because I didn't think it was good. So please, if it goes several days or a couple of weeks without me playing it, send me an email and say on rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. Say, hey, man, you asshole, why didn't you play my audio comment? Just as a reminder, okay? Because I play everybody's. I don't sit there and scream and go, oh, this audio comment sucks. I will play it because I'm desperate for content. Oh, please listen. All right, friends. Thank you for listening. Dog Days of Podcasting, day 23. Still going. I wish this thing was going on about 45 days. Let's close out with a Nazareth tune. rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. Find the show at rockandrollgeek.com. Facebook R&R Geek, Twitter R&R Geek, Instagram Rock and Roll Geek. Don't ask. I'm about to burp up this fine Tecate, and I know it grosses people out, so I'm going to hold my breath. Here's Nazareth from the great live album called Snaz. 6 minutes and 45 seconds of Telegram. I'll talk to you tomorrow, friends. Of course, I forgot to turn up the volume, so let me fire my producer and turn the volume up. I'll talk to you tomorrow, friends.
Just get out and play. Wake up call to catch the plane. Now you're on the road again. And someone's banging in your head. Why did you get so late to bed? You're running late and feeling bad. That breakfast was the worst you had.
It's a rock and roll geek train wreck.